Previously, on Vampire the Masquerade, Rise of the Free States, one of the most badass characters outlined in LA by Night got completely bodied by Byrick Ash and his twin Mausers.
Yo.
And then Diablerized, which gave Tom the very first 6 dot abilities in the group. Even though I don't think you have 6 dot yet, you have the option to get some. God damn it, I said, oh. Murphy Fierro made a gigantic fucking mess.
I don't know what else could have happened with Murphy Fierro.
Oh, I do. He basically came upon Carlo Martino and Betty. Betty wanted to have more practice murdering somebody, so she knew she could do it if the time arose. They just happened to murder and steal the car of a serial killer, who the police had been tipped off about, and pulled you over almost immediately as they were going to arrest you. Murphy Fierro came up from nowhere, shot a guy in the face, and immediately started to embrace him in front of God and everybody.
At no point did you tell that woman that vampires don't have to kill people to drink from them.
She chose the worst teachers.
It's the Italian way though.
The first time, that wasn't her fault. Second time, that's on her.
The ethnically diverse task force found Reggie, your butler, in the basement of the art gallery.
Bob also managed to kill my butler without making his presence.
Oh man, EDTF.
So sorry.
You guys decided to keep tracking down Jeremy McNeil as you had not found him yet. You went to the Hollowbrook Hotel, found a quinceanera, and with all of your leads dried up, I believe you went back to your library haven. You guys went back to McNeil's, yes, and you're rooming with Louis.
Yes.
Alright, so we begin with the next night. It is it Monday or Sunday now?
Sunday.
Sunday was the day I was supposed to take him.
Okay then. It is now Sunday. I'm gonna need everybody marked off their blood points. Give me your humanities. What's everybody looking like?
Humanity 6.
Not bad.
5, 6,
You're at 5, 6.
8.
You're on Path of Harmony, but you know what? You're an okay guy. You're probably pretty good. How you doing over there, Byrick Ash?
What are you implying?
I'm implying that you're a fucking champ.
Gentle Byrick Ash.
4.
Those are rookie numbers.
Alright, so Byrick Ash is going to be the last to awaken tonight. Jabril actually awakens first. And you hear...
6 a.m.
It's probably about 6 p.m., actually. The sun has not completely dipped down, but it is low enough in the horizon, casting a orange corona above the mountains in the distance.
Find your beach.
Well, no, you're at McNeil's, right? Because your apartment on the beach just got completely trashed.
What weird
I need to start keeping a spray in my home.
Wolf piss.
No, I don't want wolf piss in my home.
Well, it's McNeil's home, so.
And you awaken to the sound of rummaging in the distance of McNeil's mansion.
I'll go investigate.
How good is your hearing? Someone's going to the trash of my neighbors.
No, it definitely sounds like it's coming from down the hall from where you're staying. I believe McNeil gave everybody their own room.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely coming from down the hall. And it definitely sounds like drawers are being pulled open, rummaged around in, slammed hastily.
Oh, I hope it's your stalker.
As you exit your room, there's not usually a whole lot of guards that patrol, but the house seems particularly empty. Like, maybe there's less guards than usual.
I will quietly make my way towards the rummaging.
Okay, so it's still pretty dark right now. The All the drapes are closed to block out the sunlight. So you can basically kind of see just a little bit in front of your face. You don't have a night vision mirror or anything like that, right?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So as you sort of... Are you creeping along?
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and give me Dex Stealth. And I will use Perception. Oops. I don't have
Leadership.
dicks from dildos, so I will use Athletics. No.
Ears. God.
I guess I'm just gonna roll a straight Perception for this. How'd you do? 4. I got 3. So you sort of creep along, sidling against the wall of the hallway, and the rummaging seems to be coming from an office off to the side where McNeil has a desk and attends to what little paperwork he has. And as you sort of creep around the corner, you can see a silhouette, appears to be a very athletic male, and there is something over his shoulder. It might look almost as if he's got a shotgun just broken and slung over his shoulder.
Well, what do I do? Is there a light switch?
Yeah, there's definitely got to be light switches. In fact, it would probably be pretty stupid to start looking for stuff in the dark. So the light in this room is already on.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can see what looks like a very commonly dressed gentleman. What would be the equivalent of like jeans and a t-shirt. Shotgun over one shoulder. He's got long hair that's braided, hanging down the front. And like 2, I don't want to say pigtails, but definitely 2 braids.
They're manly pigtails. Boar tails.
So yeah, I'm going to say the light in this room is already on, and you can just still barely see the orange glow of the setting sun from between the curtains.
How is this? Does he just have the shotgun itself and like a sling?
It's just kind of broken over his shoulder, and he's holding onto it with one hand while he goes in and out, opening the drawers and rummaging around.
You're gonna take it from him.
Like, the shotgun, like, this is not how you use the shotgun.
I
They call that cash.
how do you deal with guns? I am going to... It's broken, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna stick my fingers in the barrels.
Okay.
Yeah, the knot part that shoots out.
I got you.
And I'll ask him what he's doing here.
So you just
What are you doing here, my friend?
turning around, very surprised. Have you met Salvador Garcia?
Have I? I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch. Would I have liked him?
Probably.
Okay.
I think the only time you would have met him if he was at the Anarch meeting.
Which he... Oh yeah, I think, yeah, he was, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. You recognize Salvador Garcia. He still has a certain ruddiness to his skin, even though it has paled considerably since his death. He wears his oily black hair down below his shoulders, occasionally tying it into 2 ponytails. His right cheek is somewhat swollen, and he greets you with a wide smile with shining teeth. Oh, it's you! Como se dice? Hermano of Zansen y Madman Murphy.
Oh, is that the name he's been given?
He's Hermano is quite popular these days. You found anything about McNeil yet?
No. I just got up. We looked through the salon, right? That's what it's called. Checked the salon. We checked a possible hotel. What's the aftermath of the?
Elysium burning.
Yeah.
You don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's kinda like-
And possibly, if he was at Elysium, we didn't find him before the fire.
I'm looking around to personal effects. Mi español es mi inglés. Fuck this language, right? See if there's any clues. ¿Qué está es Fierro?
That is a good question. I don't know where he is.
At this point, you have Humanity 6, right?
Yeah.
As do you.
Mhm.
You're at Humanity 5?
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys are going to wake up simultaneously. I'm going to ask for you to move first, so you awaken at this point, and you can hear voices in the distance. They're both very heavily accented, so you can pretty much assume that it's Jabril, and you probably...
That's racist.
Well, no, here's the thing. Murphy Fierro is racist. So I'm going to ask you a question, and you may or may not be considered a horrible human being for this. To Murphy Fierro, do all Mexicans sound the same?
Oh, that's
Like it's spoken
It's a
Italian. It's
can
like
of
broken Italian. It's a,
that crosses a line that Murphy definitely crosses. You know, everyone looks like a fucking perp. Dark people more than like statistically speaking. I'm sure in this day and age they were busting a lot of brown people around over there. In any case,
Oh boy.
if I recognize it's Jabril down the hallway, I don't know who this other fucker is, but they seem to be friendly.
Well, you might. Let's do an intelligence streetwise.
You're just like,
Gotcha.
do I know this brown person?
you're under arrest.
He just busts in the door. What are these darkies doing in LA?
He's got a weapon.
Niet.
He's got a weapon.
Yeah, blow up the house now.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, you don't know who this is. You definitely hear somebody with a heavily Spanish accented voice conversing. He's not terribly trying to hide what he's saying, but you don't speak Taco Bender, so you have no idea.
Well, I quietly go down the hall and approach the voices.
All right,
to
give me
listen.
a dexterity stealth. I'm going to use his previous roll, just so I don't have to re-roll again.
There he comes clomping in.
4. Okay. They don't... Actually, I'm going to give you perception alertness.
Two.
2. Yeah. So
Oh, he's got a gun.
they don't hear you as you sort of approach the drawing room.
Of course, in my paranoia, knowing that I have become a little infamous, I listen on the conversation and see if Jabril's okay and it's not a tense situation.
Sounds okay. You basically hear what we discussed. Salvador Garcia, whom you recognize at this point, occasionally lapses in and out of Spanish. But it does seem like they're talking about McNeil. Salvador explains in his broken English that he's looking for clues as to where McNeil might have gone. Still hasn't found anything.
Well, Salvador, it's strange that you like Murphy, because I was actually considering ending his life, but if he's useful to your cause.
How to put this? I have no problem with Fierro. He is, como se dice, good for a laugh. The anarchs love Fierro. But I explained to him very clearly he is on his own. If you have issue with Fierro, is not my place to get in between.
I bust open the door. It sounds like you think that you're better than me.
And then the studio audience.
Punish him.
I couldn't help but hear my name mentioned in your conversations.
Ah, yes. Mr. Gibril was just telling me that he wishes to kill you.
Jibby, what's going on?
Chibi?
What is Betty's humanity?
Betty's humanity is
Two.
5.
5. Okay, so she's still.
She's less human.
There's no fucking way. Fucking rules was written, but yeah, so Betty's still gonna be out for a while.
Alright. Really? You don't think I've helped the cause? Okay, fuck it. I'm not gonna.
It's nothing personal. Just your antics go against my code.
Cold.
Illogical.
As I was telling him, you're useful to the cause.
Alright, I'll accept that. Has anyone seen my box of gerbils?
No.
Fuck.
Box of gerbils.
You guys looking for McNeil?
See?
Well, I have no fucking clue where he is, but I'll try and help out how I can.
Have you checked the casa?
I have not. I'll go take a look around though.
he was
Investigation.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigation.
He just went back to cook some eggs.
Investigation what?
What do you think, Mr. Logical?
Intelligence?
Yes. Actually, let's do perception.
Perception?
Yeah.
Even better.
Don't fuck this up, Bob.
I get 1, 2, and 3 successes.
3 successes. Where would you like to start looking?
I will start with
Israel.
The back of
His
the popcorn.
Well, Salvador's kind of already in the study. If you want to help him start looking around,
Yeah.
checking out his fucking Rolodex.
I'll rifle through, look for any notes that may have led to his whereabouts.
Sure.
Maybe even see if there's any indentations on paper that he might have left behind.
Now, so you're looking around. You're looking through papers, checking out some appointments. The most recent appointment that he's got written down is to meet Louis Fortier. Also, now this might have some narrative elements to it. He does have the contact information for a number of anarchs. So you're probably going to be... I'll tell you this. If you need to get a hold of anybody, you can get a hold of the same people that he has, should you wish to start collecting and writing down some information.
Okay.
At this point, I'm going to go to Mark Zantz. You awaken before Louis does. Your humanity is just a little bit higher. At this point, sun's already down. It's perfectly nice and dark. Probably it's the winter, no, it's summer, so you probably awaken maybe 7 o'clock if I want to stretch it, without being too yoing with the time scale. You can hear some movement going on in the kitchen as you awaken. What would you like to do as you awaken, and before you know Louis isn't up quite yet?
Mark Zantz probably wakes up, gets himself properly attired, and since he's already at Louis, he's gonna go check on his ghoul and see how she's doing.
You find her as the source of the noise coming from the kitchen, and she's sitting there working with one of Christine's very, very fine tea sets as she seems to be boiling a pot of tea. And she turns to you. Oh, Mr. Zantz, I didn't see you there. Sorry, these new schedule that you recommended for the treatment is something I've not quite gotten used to yet.
Oh yeah, she has that flaw.
Speaking of treatments, I do believe it is time that you take your next one.
Ah, yes. Have you already metabolized the substance through your blood?
Yes, it has been 24 hours since you have last ingested it, I believe. A little bit longer, right?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
button with that.
So, you can take it on your own, or I can put it in your tea, however you'd like to do this.
You're the expert on this sort of thing, Mr. Zantz.
I'm assuming Louis has wine glasses, despite the fact he doesn't need them.
Yeah.
Blood animal.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of get a glass, cut my wrist with my nail, and fill it up.
Alright, she sort of watches, and at first she tries to look away like, oh, this is gross, but her eyes keep darting back. And after a while, when the glass is about half, maybe 3/4 full in between there, she's not even trying to look away. She becomes transfixed on the liquid as it sloshes around, as it fills. Almost the kind of the way you've seen Murphy Fierro look at a heroin needle, or a gerbil, or a rat.
You are becoming enticed by the substance?
Oh, I don't know about that, Mr. Zantz. It's just interested in the treatment, that's all.
Well, it's intoxicating, isn't it, the way it makes you feel?
You'll excuse me if I don't quite remember. That was one of the worst moments of my life.
And it's only going to get better from here. I say as I put the glass in front of her between 2 fingers. Much better.
She sort of takes it in a trembling hand. Her eyes sort of widen as she appraises the liquid. And as it hits her palate, she sort of... I do believe you're right. That is quite a draught, Mr. Zantz.
Partake. I say I'm going to kind of make eye contact with her the whole time as she's drinking it.
You're just like,
Do you do you actively like try to dominate her, or are you just like, is it in case you have to sort of thing? Because she's gonna kind of like close her eyes as she imbibes it, and she's very clearly enjoying it.
sploosh.
I believe this is the second time I've given her blood?
Yes.
Okay.
So she's on track 2 of your blood bonding, and as she drains it to a drop and almost rather sort of barbarically shakes the last drop onto her tongue, sort of throwing etiquette to the side. She places it on the table, throws her head back down, a lock of hair becomes displaced, and she says, when I was a young child, my grandmother used to make apple cider that's warmed me up this way, and I must say I haven't felt anything from a drink since. Not quite like this, Mr. Zantz.
It's a very powerful treatment.
Yes, I must say that it is, sir.
What did I give her? I give her presents. Does Louis have any sort of staff working here?
Oh yeah, probably. He's a venture. He's got like wait staff and stuff.
Okay. I'm gonna basically ask his wait staff to come over here, and I'm gonna walk her through the activation of presents.
Good stuff. So
I'm
you
gonna
want a maid or a butler?
Well, I'll take like whoever's available. So if there's more than one maid or butler, I'm taking to basically give her the gist of presents.
I assume he's got more maids than butlers.
Okay.
So
I'll take 2 or 3 maids if there's 2 to 3 maids to spare.
yeah. How would you like to like round them up? Just sort of walk me through this.
Do they speak French or English? Huh? Oh, ring the bell.
Because he gathered these maids in Los Angeles, there's probably a really good chance they speak Spanish.
Oh, okay. I'm speaking to them in Spanish.
They probably understand at least. They probably have at least a layman's grasp of English.
Like, come here.
I'm just
Consuela, aquí.
I'm just basically trying to schmooze them and charm them into just come with me for a moment. I'd like you to help me with something, kind of thing.
Oh no, senor. We must we must work. The master, he will be awake soon.
Oh, you can spare a few seconds. We are, after all, his guests.
Okay. I kind of like.
If you are late in anything that is happening, you just tell him that I needed to borrow you for but a split moment.
Sure. Let's do manipulation. What do you think really being suave would be? Is that an empathy? Is that an etiquette?
Charisma.
Well, he could use charisma. I'll give him his choice. I think he's got a higher manipulation though.
I'll go manipulation etiquette.
Yeah, sounds good.
Survival.
You are appealing to. That's funny. You are appealing to their. We're the guests. You know, you gotta take care of us.
Occult.
3 successes.
Okay, so you've basically
Strength
rounded up 3 maids, and they're just kind of standing in the kitchen. You haven't quite given them an order yet, so they're kind of looking, like shuffling themselves, not quite sure what to do.
As you pull out a camcorder.
No.
What color's the couch?
Black.
I'm sorry, Mr. Zantz. Was I out of line for making a pot of tea?
Oh no. It's just one of the side effects of the treatment is that you now have empowered pheromones. I say, and you have the ability to activate these pheromones at will. However, it consumes some of your vitality, so to say, by which I mean it actively actually burns the treatment within your blood system. However, this will replenish as I give it to you. I'd like to teach you how to activate these enhanced pheromones, which will give you a sort of natural grace to speak and act with people.
This is why people love fucking Martians. All right, sounds good.
It's the 40s. That is a super real pitch that probably would have been thrown out at the time.
Well, I guess the Atlas treatment. Get big in 60 days, just like Charles Atlas.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm basically... I don't know how to explain how presence works there.
Well, how do you think it works to you? Because you know that you're sort of tapping into a power of the blood to draw people to you.
I'm gonna tell her, so you go to a party, you want to be the belle of the ball, correct? So to speak. You want people to believe you, pay attention to you, to make them more receptive to what you think and have to say. Very powerful ability, the ability to manipulate with your words.
Understood.
Imagine thinking of this as enhancing your persuasiveness with your pheromones, and your will sort of becomes a part of what you have to say. And I want you to think of it that way, as if your will is inside of your blood itself. And you are burning a bit of that blood inside of you to make others more receptive to what you have to say. What do you want these mates to believe about you?
She's a virgin.
That's a bit of a hard sell.
I don't know. Do we even have a reason to lie to them? I'm not certain they speak English.
No, they have a basic grasp of the language, I believe.
A lot of them say that they speak English.
Convince them you're the Queen of England.
Okay.
The Queen of Mexico.
That you were attacked by Nazis.
I am your queen. And she sort of does one of these. And they're like, Senor, can we go back to work now? I don't know if it's working.
I don't think it is. You can't half-assedly believe what you say. You yourself have to believe it. Think of it as a sort of double-think. You know something isn't true, but to you it is true, and to them it will also be true.
I believe I understand. So, I must believe that I am worthy of the attention of the Queen of England to activate this pheromone, yes?
Not that you are worthy of the attention of the Queen of England. You are the Queen of England's equal.
Aha.
You stand amongst royalty, not as though you belong, but as though they belong with you.
I see. Very well. She sort of straightens herself up, puffs her chest out a little bit, and she sort of like looks them in the eye, like, yeah, I'm the shit right now. And you can slowly see the maids becoming a bit slack-jawed as she activates awe successfully.
Okay.
And the maid sort of like will get down on one knee before her.
Feels nice, isn't it?
This is quite remarkable, actually.
There's much more you can do if you continue the treatment.
Well, I don't think I'll be going anywhere anytime soon. At this point, the kitchen door opens. Playing with your food, Monsieur Zans, comes Louis Fortier as he fixes his cufflinks and straightens himself out. And you can tell that this guy, he's not dressed for, like, around the house. He looks like he's about to go to work.
As am I. One must know how to be able to turn a pawn into a queen, yes, Mr. Fortier?
I like your style. I have for you a proposition, should you choose to accept it.
What is this proposition?
Never mention the Queen of England in front of me again.
She is a cow.
Well, man, we're gonna get attacked by the SAS.
Oh, good lord. We don't actually think the queen is a cow. She's a lovely woman and will outlive us all.
Prince Sebastian has contacted me this morning. He demands an immediate meeting of the Primogen and high-ranking elders of the city. As you are still, to the best of my knowledge, a member in good standing with the Camarilla, I wonder if you would like to accompany me. However, if you remember, the woman shall have to stay.
Do it. Oh, good lord.
What's the worst I can have? Send me a pigeon.
I would like to take you up on that offer. However, I believe the prince had asked of me something, and I'm not sure I can quite deliver on it. I'm not sure how smart it would be of me to show up. He had asked that I would deliver Mr. Murphy Fierro to him, as of tonight. However,
Did the prince ask you this specifically?
Who was it that told me?
It was the prince.
It was Joaquin Murrieta himself. Who was
Oh,
now
the guy we
dead.
killed?
Yeah, dead in a pile
Okay,
of
well,
ash
see,
on the museum floor.
There's your excuse right there. He died.
You could tell. You could try to convince him that Joaquin, he fled. It probably won't succeed, but you can try.
I don't know. He's still a toreador and has aspects, and I can probably tell when you're lying.
I should have got that deceptive aura. I still need 2 more experience to get it. I trust in your ability to keep me safe. However, I will have to be on my guard
Wait,
in front of the prince.
you are still under the protection of the vow of succor. I will allow no harm to come to you.
I shall accompany you to the meeting then.
Very well.
How long do we have to prepare? I may have to restarch and iron my clothes.
The limo is about to leave in about 5 minutes.
Do you mind if I place a phone call?
By all means.
I'm going to call McNeil's house.
Okay. At this point, the phone in McNeil's study rings. Roll dexterity to see who gets there first.
You should have just said you were gonna call McNeil, not his house.
Wow. I got 4.
Okay.
3.
So if you wish to race Murphy Fierro to the phone, you can get there before he does.
You'd be like, hello.
Jibril?
Yeah. Who are you?
Mark Zantz.
Jim!
This is Mark Zantz. Has Mr. McNeil returned home as of yet?
No. As far as my knowledge goes.
Well, who's currently at his place of residence?
Do I know Salvador's name?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, at this point, you're going to awaken, as Mr. Fortier has.
Like the damn phone woke me up.
Damn. Who's calling at this time?
It's nap time. It's
Like,
it must snooze.
Murphy is here, and as is Salvador.
Where's your accent?
I can't do Middle Eastern right now.
Yes, you can.
Now, Salvador's there. I assume the hunt for McNeil continues.
Yes.
Would you so kindly tell him that I'm about to attend a meeting of the Primogens, and that I will do what I can to find news of what the prince has done to our friend McNeil?
Jibby, who is it? Who is it?
Murphy, I believe you're gonna get our friend killed.
You gonna let me talk to him?
Nah. Murphy wants to talk to you. Will you allow this?
I will allow this. Just please make sure Salvador hears what I told you.
And then Jabril hangs up.
Yo, Mark.
Murphy,
What's going on? You going somewhere today? Sounds like danger.
I'm going to be meeting the Primogen and the prince today.
Where at?
I haven't been told. I feel like I should take you to prove. No, that's dumb.
If you're gonna go meet those people that want me fucking dead, the time has passed. I asked you all for a fucking bomb jacket.
Get the police car.
I'm just sort of shaking the phone in my hand right now, trying not to break it with potence.
Look, we gotta figure out a way to figure out if you're in trouble or not to get you out.
I am under the vow of succor under Mr. Fortier. Our laws as Ventry will allow him to... Well, not allow me to be protected under him as long as I'm next to him at least. I believe I have some relative safety. However, please be in somewhere easily findable should I need to sacrifice you.
Well, I can't promise that, buddy. But I may be able to show up of my own accord if you find a way to get a message out.
I'm assuming Fortier hasn't told me where we're going.
No.
I am
He's
certain.
just sort of waiting for you in his limo.
Impatiently tapping his foot.
I imagine he's tapping his cane. I'm afraid that I have not been made privileged to where we are meeting tonight.
Just follow us.
Is the salon supposed to be today?
Tomorrow.
Okay, that's tomorrow. If I have access to a phone, I will call McNeil's residence.
Gotcha.
I mean, you're calling McNeil's residence right now.
No, I mean if I have access to a phone again when I know where I'm at, is what I'm telling him.
Sure thing.
Please,
Look to the sky, it'll be ablaze. That's where I'll be.
for the love of Cain, please make sure everybody else knows what's going on.
Gotcha. You want to talk to Jibby again?
Yes, I'm gonna tell Jabril the exact same things,
Okay.
so I know that my message has now been made somewhat reliable. And I'm gonna go to the limo.
Thought we were playing
Okay.
telephone.
As this happens, Byrick Ash awakens. So tell me, what is your actual, like, where do you actually stay in the library?
The attic. No one will find me there.
They'll never expect
The
it.
attic. Okay, that's fine.
I almost said the basement.
Wipe my greasy as full face.
But then we'll go into the basement and find nothing and figure, oh, he's already gone. Can't go check upstairs. There's a mage.
So what do you do as you awaken in the attic?
What do I do?
Go upstairs? No.
I go upstairs. Make sure all my appearance is prime and proper.
Okay, of course.
And then I probably read a book I've already read like 14 times.
Okay, do you actually descend from the attic though?
Yes.
Okay, as you descend, sort of waiting immediately below is Isaac and Cassie, sort of leaning up against bookshelves with a medical container between the two of them. And as you sort of descend the stairs, Isaac sort of looks up at you, a little apprehensively, a little trying to be friendly, trying to be polite, little don't kill me, little mix of all these things. Good evening, Mr. Ash. Glad you're awake.
It's you.
We've brought you some breakfast, sir. I'm not quite sure what sort of flavor you prefer, but we pulled some strings to get you these. And as he pulls open the medical container, you can see there's 3 pints of blood.
Are they chocolate flavor?
What kind of blood is it?
Be positive.
Oh, okay. Nothing special. It's not even Fey blood. Failures.
I would like to make a typo negative reference, but we'll just go with that.
Oh, negative.
What's your blood type? Can you drink this blood?
That's a good question.
Does Byrick Ash smell like burning leaves?
What?
I don't think he wears perfume.
Okay.
But he, upon his milk white neck is the devil's mark.
Of course.
I'm lost.
Typo negative.
Oh.
Black number 1.
You have my gratitude.
Well, you see, sir, we've come to ask for your help tonight. I do think you might enjoy it.
Go on.
Word has reached us of a very dangerous vampire in the city. We think he might be involved in a conspiracy that reaches all the way to City Hall.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Who is it?
Continue.
Well,
I already know where this is going.
we have some connections in the city, sir, you see, and not entirely, shall we say, polite company, but sometimes you need to talk to the type of people that are out after dark, you understand? Anyway, apparently downtown last night there was an attack in front of, well, everybody, sir. This police officer was turned into a vampire right in front of a crowd of people. And his partner, a rookie, attempted to reach a payphone to call police for backup, and you see the story was squashed. The police didn't respond. It never made it anywhere in the media. And to make the story deepen, the description of the particular vampire that has committed this attack matches one that was seen kidnapping a woman at a 4th-floor hospital building.
The funniest part is my character doesn't know anything that Murphy's been doing.
They're just like, this monster! And that idiot, who would do something like that?
Fires everywhere.
And you think it's a vampire who's committing these atrocities.
Well, if the reports that we heard are to be confirmed, then we know it's a vampire, as we saw him vampirize a human police officer in broad moonlight.
Werewolves can't make vampires.
We prefer the term embracing.
Do you know where to find this vampire?
Well, we can give you a description of him. As we said, his last known whereabouts were downtown. We do know that apparently he absconded with the sergeant that he embraced, a Sergeant Richard Savage.
Ooh.
Such a cool last name.
Dick Savage. That was not a description.
Oh, well, no, they will basically describe Murphy Fierro to you verbatim.
Like, Carlo Martino. No.
The last known words were, "Do you think you're better than me?"
Just immediately like, oh, I know. They've given me reason to dispose of Murphy now.
We do believe if left unchecked, this vampire could be very dangerous. And we think this is a little bit over our head, so we weren't sure if we were supposed to ask for help from you, or I suppose if you think this is beneath your time, we could ask those Leonardo people.
Leonardo?
Yes, you see, apparently there's a monastery in town from the days of the Catholic missionaries that is being used to train a group of fellow vampire hunters that I believe they were called the Society of Leonardo. We weren't certain if we should alert them to Murphy Fierro's activities. Oh, they don't know it's Murphy Fierro. We weren't sure if we should alert them to the vampire's activities. Whoops, I did fuck up.
Do not insult me. I've been around for a very long time.
Of course, Mr. Ash. We just simply wish to make certain that we weren't wasting your time.
You shan't associate yourselves with such zealots.
All right. This is why we come to you first, sir.
I will look into this, since you have brought me an offering.
The pact is made.
This pact is literally sealed with blood.
Are you sure you're not just one of those little Japanese offering statues?
What? I have a shrine?
Just two stone guns crossed.
Oh man, you can be fucking Judas from Heaven's Lost Property.
I never made it that far.
No.
And what of you two will be doing? Wait.
Well, we're going to try and follow up on some leads, see if we can contact one of the witnesses that fled. Also, we're going to try and see if we can find exactly where in the chain the story was covered from police dispatch. If we can isolate his support, then maybe perhaps we have a better chance of closing him in a noose, per se. That's our first steps tonight, and if we have any further leads, we will pass them on to you, of course.
Then be wary. The vampire influence reaches farther than you expect.
I don't know exactly how deep it reaches.
Of course, Mr. Ash, we operate with the utmost caution.
Then I will be going out for the night. You may help yourself to any of the books.
We thank you, Mr.
You may
Manager.
help yourself to one.
So,
Just a one.
you guys, just for the sake of the story, I'm going to say you guys are still rummaging around in the office. We're going to start with you. The limousine pulls up to this very dilapidated, old performing arts studio. Like a kind of like a community theater type thing. Only it doesn't look like it's been used in years. There's ivy and lichen and rot and all sorts of things just clogging this building. There's like one of those, I don't know what you'd call it. You know those boards that they have at like churches where they put up the funny sayings?
Yeah.
There's one of those, but there's no letters in it, and it's just completely yellowed with age. In vast contrast, there is just lines of these very nice, very well-to-do cars lined up around the block, parked outside this place, and you can see that there's a procession of vampires, and the ostentatious way they're dressed tips you off either super tacky Ventru or textbook Toreador, sort of like fluttering in.
I realign my modern, tastefully selected cuffs and cufflinks and whatnot.
As you sort of pull up, Louis sort of just huffs and gives you a nudge, like, "You see these guys? What is this, Halloween?"
With my knowledge of vampire etiquette, I'm assuming it's a bad thing for me to take even a concealed weapon with me.
You have your
You
clothes.
can't get in trouble if they don't know about it.
It's true.
I'll tell you what, it would be worse to come in dressed in jeans and a t-shirt.
So then Murphy would be double offender.
I won't take my saber in unless there's some tacky Toreador walking in full cavalry dress or something. In which case I know I can get away with it now. But I'll keep my pocket gun inside my
Okay.
inside my inner jacket pocket.
So you eventually make your way into the building. You know, Louis is like right next to you. He's sort of, I guess, a shoulder ahead, just kind of protectively, if you know what I mean. Like, just so nothing fucks with. He's the way he's walking. He's not really on guard, but he's with me, kind of leaning over. You guys eventually get into the auditorium, and you recognize several faces: Drusilla the Gangrel Primogen, Victor Armitage the Malkavian Primogen, who is just obsessively flipping through this notebook. And he'll get to the end, close it, and get back to it, and over again like a madman, which he very clearly is. You don't see the Nosferatu Primogen. That doesn't immediately surprise you. And as you sort of settle into seats, pretty much towards the front, because Louis being a Primogen and everything, there's this buzz of conversation going on. And Louis sits down next to Drusilla, the Gangrel Primogen. Again, doesn't quite look... She looks very out of place wearing, an evening gown. Her hair is tousled and curly, and it looks like she tried to pluck the sticks out, but they're still like flyaways and stuff. She didn't quite bother to brush it all. Drusilla, he nods as he sits down. Fortier, she says without shooting him a glance. Any idea what this is about? And she just shakes her head.
Can I try to listen to like the general murmur of the room to see if anybody's picked up what's happened the past night?
Yes, there is mostly just talk about the museum. What happened to the museum? And the salon, I bet it was the same person. And uncultured swine. And, oh my god, have you read my new play? It's the best work I've ever done. It's a mix between the Mikado and... I don't know, what's really tacky? Grand Ole Opry.
Tacky the
Grand Ole
Penguin.
Opry.
I heard the gates of heaven were vandalized last night.
I'm just gonna be like, you don't say. Like, I'm kind of like joining the conversation with it.
How was it vandalized?
I'm sort of doing the whole is that really what happened? What's happened to Elysium? Kind of acting like I don't know what's happened, kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. So you jump in with some post-dress Toreador. I don't know. I haven't seen it myself, but I heard it was completely destroyed.
And
Someone told me it burned down to the ground completely to flinders.
absolutely barbaric. Who would do such a thing?
I have no idea. Some uncultured swine, to be certain.
The Sabbat.
The Sabbat. Oh my! Do you think they're in L.A.?
Who else would dare to attack the prince's own home and artwork itself?
The Sabbat. Did you hear the Sabbat? The swine. There's like this tiny little crack of whispers. Let's do a manipulation subterfuge to see how well this.
Bob, you're the Sabbat man.
I will.
That could also be like indicting me.
You're just like, whoa, hold!
We're not monsters.
And I'm just sort of sowing the seeds of discord amongst this gathering. 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay.
I would have had 3, but I had a 1.
So there's a little whisper going on, and you kind of crack a smile, but there's almost immediately, oh, the Sabbat? The prince would never allow the Sabbat. You know, eventually, after a while, the murmur goes down completely as
Demons.
Selena Vega, followed by Don Sebastian, come out to the stage, and Don Sebastian looks pissed.
Royally pissed.
And now I have to try and remember what my Spanish accent sounds like.
It's a little
It's
Irish.
not Scottish.
Think of Ricardo.
Ricardo. I am Ricardo, si.
El fuego. No.
You love. Fellow kindred, he says, bellowing to the audience. I have no intention of keeping you here for very long. I wish only to pass along news. Last night, a most grievous of crimes was committed in my domain. Our very Elysium was attacked. One of my greatest enforcers were diablerized. And the criminal had the gall to write his own name on one of our greatest treasures.
Oh man, Murphy, you're fucked.
To be fair, now he thinks Murphy diablerized Joaquin. So now he thinks he's like a force to be reckoned with.
I have tried to be a fair prince. I have tried to govern this city fairly, and yet the filthy anarchs spit in my face again and again, no matter how much leeway I attempt to offer them. I, Don Sebastian Juan Dominguez, as Prince of Los Angeles, with the power endowed in me by the inner circle of the Camarilla, invoke Lex Talionis upon Murphy Fierro. And there's this gasp.
You're fucked.
Oh no.
And this picture of Murphy, this very terrible, almost headshot, gets passed down.
Oh man, is Headshot guy passing him up?
Is it Joe's character dressed as Murphy? Like this is what he looks like. This is how you capture the essence.
That's funny as fuck that Don Sebastian hired him. We need a model. I invoke the blood hunt. Fiero's life is forfeit.
I'm going to go poop. You don't need me.
Do a plug first before you poop.
No, I denied.
But it'd be funnier if you had to poop and then you.
X has to poop. Watch Capcom.